Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Poor Decisions Live with the Alconauts. I think this is episode 11, Paul,
Yes, I believe that's correct.
even though I put up that last week was episode 9. I kind of made a mistake in some of the promos, but I've corrected that for this week.
Indeed.
So what do we got in store this week for everyone, Paul?
Well, today we have, back from the Witness Protection Program, a familiar face in our videos, an insightful voice, and I would like to thank a bringer of facts, and that would be our one and only Intern Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Hello, how are ya?
We're doing fantastic.
And we are so happy that you could join us this week.
Absolutely. And this is absolute proof that we did not do away with Jackie's body.
Not well enough, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Hold you, Ray.
Hey, we tried. I mean, we had a map. We carefully dotted. I'm not going to go to tragically.
Anywho.
Years along the way, just didn't quite get there.
You know what?
Exactly.
If we weren't going to do you in, a sour beer was. So it's good that you got out when you could.
That's yes. Right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you guys were trying to do away with me, especially, after the Halloween one and everything too. And
well, first off, that beer came from somebody else. A viewer had sent us that beer, so that had nothing to do with me and Ray.
Much appreciated. Yeah.
We
but
take no responsibilities.
Very fun in hindsight. When you're not in the moment, those moments are really funny and definitely a great experience. So kudos to that person for hooking us up,
Oh, absolutely. And I'm almost drowning on my beer. Just thinking of the good times. It's making me verklempt. But before we get any further, Ray, we've got some promo stuff we got to get out of the way. So why don't we just get right to it?
Absolutely. So we are going to start out with Shirt of the Month. So May's Shirt of the Month, crushable. You guys know it as Paul's favorite word. Pop on over to thealconauts.com. You can buy it there. There's the link right straight through for that. So again, Shirt of the Month, crushable. Check out that little beer guy there. You want to wear this shirt. You know you do.
He's got muscles.
He does.
Yes.
Alrighty. So next item, thealconauts.com. Like I mentioned, you can get our beer shirts there. We've got all sorts of information for all y'all. We've got recent articles. We've got beer education. We've got links to episodes. And most importantly, the link to the merch store, because this helps us keep going and doing the stuff and buying the beers. Alrighty, and then we are going to do a quick plug for the 2024 Brewtubers Get Together here in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. You've heard us talk. You've seen the videos about our time in Chicago last year. We missed out the previous year in Atlanta. This thing is growing. If you want information, you can email us at thealconauts@gmail.com. You can reach out to Shane at Shane's Craft Beer Reviews @gmail.com. We've got lots going on. We're getting together over the next couple of weeks to try and nail down some of the details, the finer points. I believe we've got pretty close to filling up the Airbnb. So if you're interested, make sure you get over and send that deposit to Shane. I can't remember the exact format that he's using, which one of the PayPals or whatever. But reach out to him with an email. Again, Shane's Craft Beer Reviews @gmail.com. And he'll help you get that sorted out.
Absolutely. And I think that is a perfect segue into our first topic, Ray. What is it?
Well, beer tourism. Imagine that.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah, beer tourism. I like to tour and test beers and taste beers. And whenever I go somewhere, I find beers. So what exactly is beer tourism? It's the exploration of regions, cities, or countries with a focus on visiting breweries, beer festivals, and other beer-related attractions. It's a journey that combines the love of travel with the appreciation of craft beer, offering unique experiences for beer enthusiasts and casual drinkers alike.
So I know we were discussing BeerCon, But I think that's one kind of form of beer tourism. Um, Beer festivals are another form of beer tourism. Uh,
Yeah.
Even just doing uh, like a road trip to a brewery somewhere else may also be.
Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah, Oktoberfest is huge. I
Yeah.
remember Oktoberfest out a couple of years, and that was a
Yeah.
hoot and a holler.
Yeah, and beer is a big part of actually, I don't know necessarily always beer, but it is a big part of a lot of like European kind of holidays, traditions, festivals. Like there are so many, that are just it's a big part of the culture. So it's kind of cool that now it's the center focus of some of these.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely. And the key thing is like, getting to the cultural side of things. It's a great way to absorb the culture when you're on a vacation and to drink the beers from that locale. To be able to drink a Trappist beer from Belgium or to drink a rice beer from Japan or even a rare stout beer from Jamaica, right?
Mhm.
Something
Um,
authentic, yeah.
like I Here's a question for you, Jackie. Are you a beer tourist locally or on the road? I know you're not a huge beer drinker,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna touch on that a little later in the show. But would you consider yourself a beer tourist?
I wouldn't say that I am a beer tourist, but I can definitely say when I go to new places, whether it's, somewhere kind of in the region still or wherever I'm traveling, I do want to try something local and authentic to them. So if I was going out, I like traveling, I would 100% want to try the brews of their area and, see what they've got going on because it's just with anything, food too, or with everything, you want to try, stuff from everywhere. See what they have in beer. Why wouldn't you, right?
Oh, absolutely. Ray, are you a beer tourist?
Oh, absolutely. I dragged you 2 hours away from Niagara Falls to go to a brewery that I discovered when I was on vacation.
Yes.
so, so yeah, I absolutely 100% fit the definition of a beer tourist.
I know when Jackie was with us on the show as our intern, we had done Oktoberfest, or Locktoberfest.
Yes, Oktoberfest.
We had done the did we not do there's some sort of festival at the convention center. I don't know if it was a Comic Con or something like that. We went to one of those things. Um
I believe you guys
I-
went to Frightmare on the Falls.
Something like that.
And yeah, you
My,
guys you guys traveled around and talked to some of the vendors, and there was actually a beer glass etching vendor there.
Yep, there was someone along that line. So I like to think that the Alconauts are responsible for opening Jackie's beer experience.
Oh yeah, 100%. The things that we tried were completely new experiences for me and very fun too. Yeah, like some of these events that we got to do and just the way that I got to be embraced into the whole experience of like being a beer drinker, going to breweries, actually seeing, who is out there crafting these beers. It was fantastic. It was such a fun experience. So if people want to go out and do that, be beer tourists, like they're gonna have the time of their life, right? Like it's great.
and that and that's another thing, going out there and talking to the brewmasters, talking to the staff at these craft breweries, and learning their trade, learning how passionate they are. I think it's really big in the beer community, especially the craft beer community, is really getting out there and knowing who these people are that are making your beer and what kind of passion they put into it. And like you said, we met some really good brewmasters and some great breweries. It was actually
Yeah.
fantastic. This whole Alconaut trip has been absolutely fantastic. And you know what, honestly, we kind of miss you, Jackie.
Kind of. And
Well, I've got
Aw, I've missed you guys too.
um, it's funny because Paul was just talking, and beer tourism is not just about the beer. You hit on that with talking about culture, traditions that are surrounding beer, and the different ways that culture and tradition of different regions are tied into the type of beer that are featured in those regions. So when you visit a brewery in a different country or region, it gives you insight into their customs and their history. I've noticed that there's a lot of breweries that will draw on local geography or local history when they're naming their beers. And that's pretty cool because that can start up all sorts of conversations, especially when you run into those really super friendly people at the pub or in the brewery. That guy that sits at the bar every Thursday from happy hour start till they close the place down. Usually they've got some of the best stories. So
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, and there's always a deep connection. Like a lot of the craft breweries, they host all sorts of events. And Paul, the last slide here, the last line of the slide, hosting events promoting local art and music. It's a vibrant arts scene quite often within the craft beer scene.
It almost seems like these days they kind of go hand in hand. Those little venue concerts, outdoor concerts, food truck festivals. It just seems like craft beer and festivals, especially the outdoor ones, really come in hand. I really enjoy participating in them. I don't get out as often as I would like to, but I'm kind of hoping that this year will be one of those years where I can get out a little bit more and taste a little bit more of what's being offered out there in the market. I've always thought of myself as kind of a beer tourist. Like I wouldn't mind going to the festivals, but I didn't understand it. So it's almost like going to another country and not doing any homework before you went and kind of wondering why your vacation wasn't so fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's completely valid, actually. Being prepared helps you with whatever you're going to do. So definitely kind of learning a bit about what you're going to experience before you go somewhere, that's got to make things better. And then you can kind of also pick what you want to do and what you want to avoid.
Unless you're on a beer tubers show and you're just told to drink this beer.
Exactly.
I did not read the fine print or any of the contract before signing. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cool. A new experience. Let's try this. Let's do it.
And it's okay because we were certain to put in that other duties as assigned clause in the contract. So
yeah. Yeah. Grunt work.
It's all about that fine print.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So, going through the slides here, because there's so much information compiled here. And beer tourism, like we mentioned, includes these beer festivals, and there's celebrations of all things beer, but they also offer a chance to sample a variety of beers in some of the best settings ever with awesome entertainment and food. Food is a big component now of the craft beer scene. Because as everybody knows, it's not easy to make money selling beer. And beer alone. The food component of the craft breweries is huge. A lot of them rely on that component, having the restaurant to supplement income and keep doing what they're doing. And you get places like Oktoberfest in Munich. There's more things to do than just drinking beer. There's competitions, there's challenges, there's all sorts of fun things. And I'm really hoping to potentially go down to the Great American Beer Festival in Denver. That happens in October this year. From what I understand, it's like $95 US for a 4-hour session, and you get pretty much unlimited 1-ounce samples in that 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dangerous time, my friend.
Yep.
1 ounce
at a time for 4 hours.
We could do the Century Club challenge.
We could. I think to make it more interesting, we would have to have small pads of paper, and we'd have to write down what we had. And at the end, the person that wins is the one who you can still read their writing.
That's
sure. I've been slacking off on these comments here. I just gotta throw comments on, but Ray, let's move along and let's get to our next subject here.
Alrighty. So let me jump through here. I got to jump a bunch of slides ahead because we had lots of stuff about beer tourism here. So
out of curiosity, Jackie, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, it's really cute. It's got dinosaurs on it. See? which is
Ooh.
why I picked it. Because I wanted something that I just was going in there waiting for something to stand out. And I was like, there's some dinosaurs, and I'm obsessed with dinosaurs. So I had to pick
I
it.
recognize.
It's called Ransack the Universe.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Yeah. By the Collective Arts. It's a West Coast IPA, 6.8%.
Oh, look at you.
Nice. That's a heavy beer.
I tend to
It's a
like
good one.
them with a little bit more in there. But I only drink like doubles if I'm going to drink anything anyways. So that kind of makes sense. Yeah. I don't drink often, but when I do,
I get hammered.
I do. I'm also like a tiny person, so like 6 drinks is like enough.
Yeah, and sometimes you throw up just a little bit.
Well, we're getting lots of love here. We got like PA Brew News. We got Ginger Yeti Road Beers. We got Sumo Sups all the way from England, keeping an eye on us over here.
So I wonder where the Ginger Yeti is tonight. He's on tour right now. He's on the metal tour, and I've been watching his updates and his reviews. So I'm not sure where he is. I think he. Oh, there it is. I went to the Pirates game today. Yeah, he had a day off on the road trip. If you haven't checked out Ginger Yeti Road Beers yet, you got to check it out because he's chronicling his tour across Canada and the US right now, one beer review at a time. He actually did a video of the tour bus earlier today or yesterday, and it was awesome. So
that's kind of cool.
And I think Paul said from PA Brew News, I think he said he might be coming in July. So that's awesome. Fingers crossed.
I processed his passport. So that's awesome. The more the merrier, I always say.
You'll have to drop in for a visit, Jackie.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we still consider you part of the Alconauts team. So
yeah.
So what are you drinking tonight, Paul?
I'm going with the original PBR here.
Nice.
Pabst Blue Ribbon is what I'm saying.
Oh, I was thinking something else.
Peanut butter and ram?
I was thinking Please Beer Ray, but
Please Beer Ray. Yeah,
hey, give me a beer. Beer me.
Yeah. Please Beer Ray. Come on.
Yeah. But I've got Madre Excepcional. It's
Madre.
It's supposed to be from Madrid. It's supposed to be a Spanish, like European style lager, but it's actually brewed under license by Molson Coors in Toronto. So
I think most of it comes out of the big boys anyways.
Yeah, it's a heck of a beer. It's got a really nice color. It's like really tasty. I'm using my favorite Anderson Brewing Anderson Craft Ales beer glass. Love this tulip shape.
Look at that. Honestly, there's been so many videos that we've had Jackie in, and just to give you guys a little bit of a background. Jackie used to watch our shows when no one would watch our shows. So it was quite fantastic. We get little messages from her, and we thought, you know what, if she's gonna watch the show, she might as well be on it. She is local to us, and she was crazy enough to say yes, and we were like, that's interesting.
Well, this is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you wanted to jump over to our next topic, Paul? Because I
got a feeling time-wise, I think we should just go right into beer trivia.
Give me time.
Yes,
I got to set this up. Where's the crazy trivia music?
Get that crazy trivia. How are you with beer trivia, Jackie?
Oh, absolutely terrible. But I'm gonna give it my best and hopefully get lucky. Sounds like a night on the town.
I've got a few. I would think I've got a few easier ones. More so American oriented, but I think you might be able to answer some of these, and we'll see if our audience out there may know some of the answers to our beer trivia.
Like what Simo had to say about the Simo's comments about the Madri, because it's considered cheap macro over there, and oh my gosh, it is not cheap over here. I do not appreciate the amount that I paid for it. But anyways,
I spent $10 on a pint for it.
yeah, and I paid $20 for 6 tall cans. So, which is kind of crazy. But anyways, here we go. Straight into trivia.
Here we go.
Here we go. Question number 1. Which U.S. state is home to Miller?
Now, I know this is going to be something
There's
a lot of
multiple
our
choice.
American friends down south should know. So, just because of that, I'm going to say point value wise, this is going to be worth 100 points.
100 points. Wow.
Yeah. Jackie, any guesses? Which state do you think Miller is in?
My brain screamed Wisconsin, and I don't know if that has anything to do with anything.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
might have just
Well,
sounded the first state that came to its mind.
the
yeah.
way you said it almost sounded a little racist.
You know what? They could do worse. Okay, Wisconsin could do worse than Miller. I can't even say their name apparently. So
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Aren't the cheeseheads in Wisconsin?
That
Yeah.
is
And I like me some cheese.
the cheesies.
Primo was saying Wisconsin as well. He's agreeing with you. Ray,
Well-
what is the answer?
Wisconsin.
How did I know that?
And I missed a spelling error when I was copying and pasting.
It's
Yeah, so Miller
all
was
good.
founded in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, back in
Okay.
1855. The company joined forces with Coors, which was founded in 1873, in 2008 to create one of the largest breweries in the U.S.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
there you
awesome.
go.
And I
Cheese
just realized
in
I've been putting on my game show voice as I've been reading these questions and answers.
Very proud.
That's very creepy, Ray. Very creepy. What is our next question?
Alrighty, moving on. Next question. On a Heineken label, the star is usually what color?
Okay, this one should be easy as well. I'm going to assign a point value of, let's say, 500 points.
Aren't they gold?
I don't know if they're gold. Any guesses out in the peanut gallery out there?
Silver?
What's
Nope,
what's
no
what's our
answer.
audience saying? What's our audience saying out there? Anybody?
Somebody's got to help.
Help us
The
out.
answer is definitely not Portland.
Simo was saying red.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
I don't know if he's saying that because he knows, or is he saying that because Ray is blatantly trying to give out hints? Well, Ray, why don't you give us the answer to that?
The answer is red. It's a distinctive feature of the brand's logo and is recognized worldwide. The red stars become synonymous with the Heineken and is easily identifiable on their packaging.
Look, I
Oh.
just read things to know what they are. I think gold would have looked fire.
Yeah,
I
Great.
think you're right, Jackie.
yeah, I gold would be great. So, what was the name of the first commercial brewery in America?
First commercial brewery in America.
Wow. Okay.
I know Simo was saying Heineken is insanely popular in the UK, and he don't know why.
Maybe they just
I don't either. I'm not a big fan of it.
I'm not. That little bit of skunkiness is sometimes
Yeah,
too much
it's
skunkiness.
Kind of weird. Well, here's a question: how old do you think the first commercial brewery was? What year do you think? 1800s?
18. I don't know. Yeah, or the late 17s. I'm thinking like, yeah, but that's, I don't know though.
I know this one. If you're thinking Jungling, it is not correct.
It is not the Youngling, the
It
Yingling.
is not. And
Definitely
I
not.
genuinely would have no idea.
what I
Got a
can
feeling-
say is it was established in 1632.
Oh wow, that's earlier than I thought.
Almost as old as Paul.
Almost as old as me.
That's why he remembers it so well.
Those were the good times.
Like something like a stone mill or something old timey sounding. I don't know.
Well, the answer is
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I would have ever gotten that. That's cool.
Yeah, Dutch West India Company. It's 1632. Commercially, brewing was not as common in that time. Most people actually brewed their own beer because, they were colonial settlements. Evidently, they were tasked to create this brewery because, realistically, they wanted people spending more time doing their actual jobs as opposed to actually making beer.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's actually correct in terms of that's why they established the brewery, but that's what I heard on the street.
It makes sense. It absolutely makes sense.
I want to make a buck too.
Yep. So let's move on. Next question is, I'm clicking on the wrong screen. There we go. Where was the Dutch West India Company established in America? So we know it was 1682 or 1632. Real, what's happening? Watching from the Watts on the Grill phone.
Hey.
Indiana, maybe? Because it says
Indiana. It wasn't Portland.
It definitely was not Portland. Now,
Bit of an inside joke there with the Portland Jackie. I made a mistake on a show a little while back, and it's got legs. Portland will not go away.
Oh no. Wouldn't they? They would have to be somewhere like bigger, you'd think, if they were gonna establish like a brewery. So
like Washington D.C. maybe.
Yeah, one of the bigger areas.
You got to think about those colonial days in the 1600s. Only had really access to one coastline. And realistically, there were a lot of Dutch settlers, mostly, I'm going to say...
Pennsylvania?
Simo's got a good guess.
North?
Looks like Simo's got a good guess.
Jersey.
Honestly, you're pretty much spot on that one. What's the answer, Ray?
Yeah, it's New Amsterdam, currently Lower Manhattan, New York.
Smart.
Pretty close to New Jersey.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's what they did. They found that area to be really good growing grounds for hops and malt, and there you go. The rest is history. I assume they are no longer around, but well, at least the guys who found it, they're definitely not around.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Alrighty, so moving on. Which U.S. brand was the first to introduce its beloved light beer?
Ooh, this one's there's like three big ones, so you got a 1 in 3 chance of figuring this one out.
I don't know. Budweiser. Is that a U.S. brand?
That's a U.S. brand, yeah, absolutely is.
My guess, because that was the first one I was introduced to.
Sounded like there was a dragon in the background.
No, that was a demon. That was the demons coming out of me.
Did you have chili again, Paul, or were you drinking milk?
Both. Milky chili. Simo was saying Coors. I'm gonna say that is not correct, but it's close. So if it's not Coors and it's not Budweiser, I'm gonna give a point value on this one of 12,000 points.
Wow.
12,000 points for this one. It's not Budweiser. It's not Coors. And we're going to get you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5. Ginger Yeti is saying Bush. It's not Bush. Ray, what is it?
It is Miller. Bud Light may be the best-selling beer in the U.S., but Budweiser was the last of these three brands to introduce a light beer. Miller Lite came first in 1973, followed by Coors Light in 1978 and Bud Light in 1982. So Miller Lite came out 51-ish years ago, depending on which month it was introduced.
before the G and the H were born.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Good catch on that, Jackie. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
So I think they may have introduced this beer because they knew Paul and I were born.
Yes. They said, this is a good year.
They knew we were going to need something light to drink by the time we got
Let's
our age.
commemorate these beer tuber gods of the future. They won't see success, but they will be commemorated with this
100%.
beer.
And drunk.
Oh, come on now. Yes, but that's not the point, Jackie.
Yeah. Where's the 91 beers, huh?
The 91 beers.
Yeah.
You guys got the ice beers, is what you got.
Yeah, in the early 90s. Yep. Not the greatest. But anyways, moving along. In what year did all 50 states finally legalize home drinking? Or home brewing, sorry. Home brewing. So in what year was it finally legal in all 50 states to homebrew?
Could you imagine if it was illegal to home drink?
Yeah. Well, it was prohibition.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah.
So
But
I'm gonna
you
say
can
like
only drink at the bar.
1910.
1910.
1910. That's a valiant guess on your part, Jackie.
That is a really good guess, actually. 1955. That's a reasonable guess.
Yeah. And now we got a short and stout beer reviews. Good day.
What's up, Sam?
Good day.
So, what time is it there? Sam's in Australia. What time would it be?
Explains a good day.
Really?
Is that like 2 a.m. or something?
I think it's 12. I think they're 12 hours. It's got to be 7:30 or 6:30.
Okay.
Simon was saying 1970 was something to do with Carter what? Carter Lyric? I don't know.
I mean, they are really behind in some places.
1970 is definitely not. Oh,
You guys seem to know where it's at. I changed my answer to their answer because I have more faith in them.
everyone's thinking Jimmy Carter made it legal.
Damn, I'd go back to then if I didn't have to be at work then.
Alrighty.
So I'm
So
saying 9:30 in the morning there in Australia.
okay, so 14
Are they
hours.
behind, though?
Yeah. So is it Thursday there now, or is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Thursday.
Sorry, Wednesday. But anyways, the answer on this one is 2013. So it wasn't until
We have like
2013.
two different massive.
Yeah, Mississippi and Alabama finally legalized home brewing in 2013.
Really?
Yeah, talk about being slow and behind the times. Holy moly. And I wonder if it's a taxation thing where they wanted to make sure they were getting the taxes on the beer sales.
Sure, let's say that.
Weren't they able to smoke pot in some of the states by that point? From what I remember, they're like you
You might
can
be right.
smoke some weed here in California, but if you go to Mississippi and you try to brew some goddamn beer, I swear, so help me. Like,
Wow, young lady, you watch your language.
Yeah.
but it's weird. It's a little.
It is a little weird. It is.
It seems very, very behind the times.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Sam is ahead of the times.
Exactly.
Wow.
You know what?
Wow.
You know what we got to bring to Canada that they've got in Australia. And I'm not sure if they'd sell here, but they've still got Utes. So UTE. So it's a modern day version of the Ford El Camino. Chevy El Camino. Ford Ranchero. No, so it's basically a car and a truck that are smashed together. It's a car in the front and a truck in the back. It's kind of like a mullet.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Which one have you got?
I
I want to see this thing. That is wicked.
When you said Utes, I thought you were talking my cousin Vinny.
Exactly.
That's my
Yeah.
nickname for uterus, so that's kind of weird.
Oh, I didn't know you people name your uterus.
No, like it's not. It's
Uteri?
It's like, oh, your Ute's acting up again. It's a nickname.
Oh,
And
jeez.
because those are the first 3 letters. So that's
Hey Ray, your pens are acting up today.
Yeah. My pen's getting a little out of hand today.
well, you call them balls and other things. They have tons of nicknames that are not their anatomical names. At least this one's just like an
Oh, that's funny. All right, we got a couple of more questions here still, so let's move on.
Yeah. Keep it
What
going,
year
keep it
did
going.
beer bottles first get metal crown caps?
Ooh, okay.
Metal crown caps. What are you thinking, Jackie? What's in your head? What's popping in your head?
So what was in there before is what I want to know.
What was in the bottle before?
What did they cap it with prior to that?
They used to use gerbil heads, taxidermy gerbil heads. They just lop up the heads, dry them out, and just push them right into the bottle.
I don't know.
They
It's a dumb question, but I mean that will help determine for me a little bit, like where in the timeline it would logically make sense. Like, what were they? Were they using corks? Like, what the hell were they?
What do you think they were shoving into the bottles?
I don't know. Like before they were metal caps. Like what would they? I don't know. What would they have been? Like little condoms? Like I don't know.
Stay tuned for the next episode of the Alconauts, where we travel down history to find out what they used to cap their bottles before metal caps.
Yeah,
It wasn't condoms.
No,
I can say that. You guys are thinking condoms. It was
I
not.
feel like they would have done it by like the like 60s or 70s, I would say for sure, like something like that. But I don't know if they were capable of like mass producing stuff like that prior to that. Maybe because it's just metal, right? That they're just squishing down. So I don't know.
Oh, it's 60s, 1960s. Not a bad guess.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was actually quite surprised when I found out what the answer was, because you really look at bottle caps, and not that they're an amazing invention, but they seem to do an amazing job, and you would think it takes quite a bit of effort or machinery to cap these bottles. I guess realistically, it really wasn't that difficult. But Ray, what's the answer?
1892.
Cool.
So before the invention of crown caps, the average life of beer and soft drinks was very short. Often sealed with corks, these seals lacked reliability and quite often had leaks for both liquid and the gas. So in 1892, the crown cap was patented by William Painter, and it revolutionized the beer industry.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Honestly, it's a good thing he worked on the bottle caps, but I kind of think with his last name, he really could have done more work in the paint industry.
You'd think.
You would think. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to our next question.
Alrighty. So, Kirin Brewery was founded in what country?
Kirin Brewery.
My brain wanted to say Japan, but I don't even know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's an interesting answer.
Could be I know the name Kieran is Irish, but that's not an Irish spelling.
Yeah, this one surprised me, but then it didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say honestly, just based on Jackie's, thought process on this, we're gonna put the point value at about 50,000 points. 50,000 points.
50,000.
Well, it's not really to say that you're far off or close. It's just you know what, 50,000 is a good point value for this one. Any guesses out there? Anybody thinking? Does Kirin Brewery sound familiar to you? Are we even saying it correctly, Ray?
Could it be Kirin?
It's not a Karen.
Kirin.
Kirin?
I rhyme.
Kiran. Kirin.
It could be Karin.
Got it. Kurin.
Karin.
Karen. Karen.
Don't know. I'm not sure. But if you keep talking like that, it's going to blow.
That sounds
Hurry.
like a cute
So the answer is Japan. Kirin Brewing was
sounds
founded
like
in
it's
Japan.
an anime character's name. So that's why I picked it.
This is
Seriously though, every time my brain screams something today, it's been on point, and then every other time I'm like, I don't know shit about anything.
well. What's that
So-
old saying, Jackie? Trust your gut. Usually, your
Yeah.
first thought is correct.
Yeah, you have to.
Vanessa Google said Japan.
There you go. Honestly, Jackie, we should just take your screen brain to the roulette table at the casino right now.
Absolutely, 100%. So apparently, this is like one of the most well-known Japanese beer companies, and they've been producing and distributing beer in Japan for a long time, making them a very prominent player in the beer market in Japan. I'd be really curious to take a trip over and see what the craft beer industry is like in Japan.
I hear it's
Okay.
actually. I hear it's actually really
That's-
big.
Yeah, because I mean, we get the macro stuff, right? We get the Sapporo, and we get what's the other
Asahi.
Asahi? Yeah. So, and that's really our exposure to Japanese beer here in North America. I would love to be able to get something. I think Shane from Shane's Craft Beer Reviews. I think he had some friends that he works with that did travel to Japan, and they brought him some Japanese beer back from a craft brewery, and he reviewed those on his channel. So if you're really curious what Shane thought, because Shane's got some pretty good insight into beer flavors and beer styles. Jump. Hey, Vanessa, have you built yourself a roulette wheel yet? You
Don't
got
tempt.
one out for by the fire pit. You can do the flaming ball, and it spins around. It's made out of cast iron or something. Jackie, Vanessa is constantly on, watching our show. We see her on a whole whack of other shows. She's a huge supporter of the BrewTuber network here, and she's probably the world's most interesting woman.
Yes.
She military background, teaching background, churns her own butter, smokes meat, does incredible. Vanessa is somebody that I would love to meet in person. Her profile pic does scare me a little bit, but
Oh, come on. That's
I
a God-given right in America.
It's a huge
absolutely. I'm just not super comfortable with guns,
And guns aren't super comfortable with you, Ray.
and I don't blame them.
There was that one time in 1990.
Yeah, no roulette yet. So
I think the BeerTuber convention next year should be at wherever Vanessa is.
100%.
Yeah, we could play some horseshoes. That's so fun.
It'd be
100%.
amazing.
Great.
I would churn butter.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I just want to try somebody's homemade butter. I want some real products. That sounds amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
I don't think it's difficult, but it's I would say, depending on how you make it, if you're doing it old school, I would assume it'd be labor intensive.
100% it would be.
Yeah, depending on what kind of equipment, for sure. I can imagine. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Alrighty, moving on. Oh, we're into a new topic. I didn't
Okay.
realize that was the last question.
Yeah, that was the last question.
So, do we want to jump right into this then, Paul? Or
Yeah, we could go into this. I got no problem going into that. I know.
yeah, I mean, we missed it last week, so
Yeah. And honestly, it's talking about the World Beer Cup Awards of 2024, and that was held in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Venetian. 9,600 brewers around the world. Was it 9,600 brewers?
no, it's 9,300 beers
9,600
from
beers, and
2,060 breweries.
And 2,060 brewers from around the world, representing 50 countries, and that's just amazing. The amount of
Beer categories too.
with
That's
110 different, it's insane. And some of the beer categories. I think one of them we mentioned last week, which was chili beer. I've never heard of chili beer. So Ray and I, we need to find chili beer. I kind of think it's like an American thing. It has to be an American thing.
That'd be like ranch beer.
Maybe well, it's supposed to be spicy, right?
Yeah.
But like,
Oh yeah.
their level of excellence for these things, and the judges that are part of this program is just insane. Like, to get a bronze, you're showing that your beer, according to this, is a fine example of the style that may vary slightly from style parameters and or have minor defects in taste, aroma, or appearance. Now, that's bronze. Think about that. It's not perfect. It's not close to perfect. Has minor defects. That's bronze. Just imagine in a category where you have, say, 200 entrants. Because I think the average is like 84.5 beers per category.
Wow.
How bad the other beers were, right?
Yep.
Or just like how good you would have to be to really stand out against so many other brews, right?
Well, now
Really
here's the question: like, if a local brewery had a gold-winning beer, would you try it?
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Like, I think I would try it just because of the fact that they won a gold. Now here's the question: if they only won bronze, would you try it?
100%, because that's still a bronze out of 84.6 or 84.5 other beers in that category.
Based on the wording of it, I question, do they only have one gold, silver, and bronze, or do they hand out gold to everyone who meets the gold standard, silver to the silver, and bronze to the bronze, and then you don't qualify at all?
No, there's only one gold, silver, and bronze per category.
Oh, okay. So if you're talking about 80 competitors, any of the top 3 have got to be really good. And there's a strong chance that there's only minimal differences between the 3, that they really just had to go with their gut and what they really liked. And just because, these judges picked this as number 1 doesn't mean that number 3 is not going to be your number 1. Like, watch any show, ever that's, where they go through with contestants, and you won't always agree with what the judges choose in the end, because for you, your number 1 was different. So 100%, any of those top 3 are going to be fantastic on this.
Now, now hear me out. What if the gold medal winning beer, but you find out there was only 4 entries into that?
I'd still try.
I mean, how good are the other 3 though?
How bad was that 4th one? I would almost want to try the 4th one.
Yeah.
Just to see how badly it got beaten out. Like, how bad was it?
It might have been
absolutely.
Beer. That 4th beer might have been exceptional.
Yeah.
In our mind, but it didn't quite meet the criteria of what that beer style is supposed to be.
That's another thing too. That's like
right?
Where people get upset about award shows and stuff, but it's like, we're not saying this thing isn't good. We're saying that this is what we asked for, and it's not what we got. So that's a completely valid point too. Maybe number 4 wasn't crummy. It just was the wrong category for it.
It's funny you say that, because we were watching a bit of Canada's Got Talent last night, and there were a lot of singing acts. And my one daughter said, it's funny. They've got so many singers and musical acts on here, but they don't have one musician on the panel of judges. Well, Cardinal Official is on the panel, so apparently he's not considered a musician. But honestly, the host of the show is the only, in my mind, true musician on that entire show.
Yeah. That's kind of true too. Also, is that you have to have some experience and understand what you're judging too.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how to become a judge in.
It's
one
actually
of these.
why you've got actually have to have you need beer cred.
Yeah.
You have to be in the industry. be proven to. There's like a whole list of criteria, and if you go to the World Beer Cup Awards website, they actually put down some of the criterion for the judges, and it's like the people who get selected to be part of the judging panel, they've got to go through quite a bit to get to where they are to be on that panel to judge, right? And honestly, 9,300 beers, that's a lot of beer to drink. A lot. Like, could you imagine drinking the same beer from different places? Like, at what point do you say,
you know what? Different judges for different panels, guaranteed. There would have been like, if there was like 3 judges for every event, and then how many? You said there was 110. Mm-hmm. Each judge would have done like 10, and so they would have had what, like, enough to whatever. I'm not mathing right now, but enough to have done, only so many events, because you would get so drunk or whatever that you wouldn't be a good judge anymore.
Well, think about it.
I believe there's something like 260 judges or 230.
So, yeah.
I was going to say, if you do the quick math on that, if you're judging 10 categories at 84.5 beers on average per category, that's 845 beers.
No.
Over the course of...
Yeah, you're right. Like, you would probably... No, there's no way. There would be like, maybe there was like 2 judges for each, and they all had their own category or something.
Well, I would love to be... I don't think being a beer tuber quite gives me the beer cred that I need to get on, but I can always just make up my my cred. So I'm gonna see if I can. Let's 100%. Get on this panel.
I'll write a letter for you if you need. Put down my number. I was your boss at some point. I'll do it.
We're gonna have to burn this episode.
100%. It never happened. It never existed.
But nonetheless, awesome. I would try a beer that's won a medal. Would I go out of my way to do it though? I don't think I would. And the only reason why I say that is we do have local breweries that have won medals at competitions. Mm-hmm. The gravity of those competitions in comparison to the World Beer Cup competition, I don't know how well it compares to that. I don't think it really does, but still, to try a beer that's won a medal, I wouldn't mind tasting it. Question is, am I getting the same beer that won that medal? Is the only thing that concerns me. Because I know being in the industry, whether it be brewing or distillery, usually what we send to, certain places to be judged isn't necessarily what we actually send out to the public to be drank.
Yeah. Batch to batch, there's a variation too, right? Because the general public, as long as it's close, we're not going to know. They'll never know. They're not going to know.
They're not going to know.
They'll never know.
How will they know?
How will they know?
They're not going to know.
Who's going to know we peed in your beer?
Jeez.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I don't know if you were aware, Ray. So we released a video last week on Qingdao, the Chinese beer, right? That was last week, right?
It was last week, yeah.
Yeah. So after doing that, I realized that there's a little bit of a controversy with one of their employees urinating in their beer vat.
Wait, what? How long ago was this?
I don't know. I didn't want to know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, I'd rather hope that it wasn't our batch.
Yeah, I would hope so too.
Yeah, there was like a video of it. Like, and like I said, I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. I'm pretty sure I still have one more in my fridge.
You know that every bit of water that you drink has been through something like 8 or 9 people before it got to you, right? Or creatures, at least. Like, matter is not created nor destroyed, meaning every molecule you intake has been other places before. It's just been bouncing around eternity before it got to you. So it's nothing more gross than anything else that you encounter in your day.
Wow, you make this show smarter.
It's kind of cool and kind of creepy and weird all at the same time, Jackie. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yes. That's in my, resume at work.
I think you would thrive better on another show as opposed to this one.
But I'm just saying, I mean, it sucks to have urine in anything that you have purchased off the shelves and put your trust and faith into. And as much as I'm laughing, it was not the right thing to do. So I'm glad that this person got caught. Then
let me ask you a question.
Don't worry, you'll be okay. You'll be fine.
I was going on a slight tangent here. A baby named Nathan. Is it bad to say urinate?
Oh.
Is it bad to say that? Urinate.
Well, he's an 8. He's definitely an 8.
Urinate. Is it bad to say that in front of the parents? Urinate. Urinate.
Dude, you're an 8.
Urinate.
Yeah, you know what? No, teach that's fine. You just say it all the time, and then you're like, why is this kid always peeing on things? And you're like, well,
I figure if I'm the bully, they'll learn to be able to just shrug it off when they're actually approached by bullies. Because I got a feeling that at some point some kid's gonna figure that one out.
Yeah.
I know this baby who you were referring to, Paul, and I know his parents, and they're pretty damn tough. So I don't think he's gonna have any issues.
Oh, they can't fight his battles, Jesus.
No,
Honestly,
but they'll teach him to be tough and strong for sure.
I hope so. Either that or really good at dad jokes.
I was called Jackie Chan growing up. So
honestly, I was called Jackie Chan growing up.
Right? See, I can see it a little bit more with you because you are a man of Asian descent, whereas I am neither of those things. But I actually never cared because I was like, but Jackie Chan's fucking awesome. So, okay.
True that, but wait, what? Paul's Asian? And he's a man?
I'm a man. Yes, I am, but I can't help but love it so.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have discussed pretty much everything except for the things that we didn't discuss.
Yeah, a few things here or there, but you know what? I had a great time with Jackie.
Yeah, it's so great to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
We got to watch out because you're doing big things these days. Like you are going to be handling drugs that are going to be helping people and
legal drug dealer. Yes,
that's awesome. That is awesome.
I'm very excited. Honestly, I'm excited to be in the healthcare field soon. So
that's awesome. And speaking of healthcare, we'll have to get you back on an actual episode of the show where we can devise some crazy beer or concoction for you to drink with us. So
yeah.
Why does it always just be devised when it comes to Jackie?
Just torture me again.
It's fun.
It wasn't torture. We didn't do that on purpose.
Those were some of the episodes that got the most views.
It was good. Yeah. People are sadists and they enjoy watching the intern squirm. Yeah. They got to watch me struggle through trivia today. So, but like Mind Power pulled some good answers.
You pegged off Wisconsin right off the bat, and you pegged off Japan right at the end. So I'm gonna say that's a home run.
Yeah,
it's like a band. It's like a band. As long as they start together and end together, who cares what happens in the middle, right? So.
Yeah. Exactly. No one remembers the middle. No one does.
No. That's right.
It's kind of true.
That's right. So.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on. This has been great. Thank you to everybody who kind of responded in the comments too. Like it was really cool to read people live time watching this. It's amazing.
Yeah, we had a couple of folks that we know from the BrewTuber world that we don't typically see on our show on tonight, which was amazing. Some of the regulars didn't make it this evening. Thanks to Sam for popping in. Thanks to Simo for popping in. These are like people from all over the world tuning in to watch our show. It's pretty freaking awesome.
And we appreciate every one of you. So we're really happy that you guys are tuning in. And honestly, if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be here.
Absolutely. And Vanessa, as always, thank you for tuning in. She's a huge supporter of what the
I will get that butter.
Yes, we will. Yeah. So we are basically to the end of our show. And again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to episode 11 of the Poor Decisions Live with the Alconauts. We're going to do this again as long as people are tuning in and watching, and as long as it's no secret Paul comes up with all the content. As long as Paul can keep generating content for us, we will just keep doing this as long as there's some demand.
Absolutely.
It's an absolute blast. We'll keep bringing guests. We're going to try and stack and pack and rack. And actually, if you want to be on the show next week, please let us know, because we don't have anybody lined up yet. But
Please. And with that being said, I am Paul.
I'm Ray.
And I'm Jackie.
And we are the Alconauts. And thank you so much for tuning in.